Hello students, I am Abdul Shamil, Assistant Professor of English at Innova College based in Nagpur. Today we are going to discuss about the topic of narration that has been prescribed in the syllabus of BA second year third semester, RTM Nagpur University, Nagpur. Now today we are going to deal with interrogative sentences, how to convert them from direct to indirect speech. Now the topic of direct and indirect speech is also called narration or reported speech. As I have told you that today we are going to discuss with interrogative sentences. So, how we are going to identify that the type of the sentence is interrogative? It is very simple that it always ends with a sign of question mark. So, we have to change the reporting verb. When the type of the sentence is interrogative, so reporting verb is going to be changed into ask. Now, interrogative sentence always ends with a sign of question mark and it is of two types. Verbal question, which always starts with helping verb, and WH question. So right now we are going to discuss about yes no question or verbal question, which always starts with helping verb. So first of all, we have to change the reporting verb into ask when the type of the sentence is interrogative, whether it is WH or verbal. Now we are discussing about verbal question, which starts with helping verb. So in order to remove inverted commas, we have to use if or whether. The structure of verbal question is it always starts with helping verb, subject, main verb, object, other words. But when we convert them into from direct to indirect speech, so we have to bring subject at the beginning. After that, helping verb, main verb, object, other words. In place of question mark, we have to put a sign of full stop because we are converting direct question into indirect question. So now we are going to apply these rules on the very first sentence. He said, are you going to market? He said, it is reporting verb. Are you going to market? It is reporting speech. And the type of the sentence is interrogative because there is a sign of question mark. So reporting verb is going to be changed into ask. He asked. After that, the sentence starts with helping verb. So in order to remove inverted commas, we have to use if or whether. We can use if or whether. Here I have used whether, you can also use if. He asked whether. After that, we have to change the position of helping verb and subject. Subject is going to come in place of helping verb and helping verb is going to be shifted in the place of subject. So you, who is you? You is a listener. Listener is not given in the sentence. So we have to suppose me as a listener. Me is an objective case. The subjective case of me is I. So the answer will be he asked whether I. We have to change present tense into past tense. Present tense. Am is are will go into was verb. I was going to market. In place of question mark, we have to put a sign of full stop. So here we have converted this direct question into indirect question. Here it was verbal question because it started with helping verb. That is why we have got whether. After that we have changed subject and helping verb. Subject has been brought in place of helping verb and helping verb has been brought in place of subject. In short, we can say that we have to interchange number one and number two. If we give it number one and number two, so we have to interchange number one and number two. After that, we have to remove question mark with a sign of full stop. Now, let's come to second question. She said, will you come tomorrow? She asked. Why asked? Because there is a sign of question mark. And if the type of the sentence is interrogative, we have to convert the reporting verb into ask. She asked. After that, for removing inverted commas, if the question starts with helping verb, we have to use if or whether. She asked whether. After that, we have to change number one and number two. It means you have to interchange the positions of helping verb and subject. They are going to be interchanged. You is a listener. Now, listener is not given in this sentence. So, we have to suppose me as a listener. Me is an objective case. The subjective case of me is I. Whether I. We have to convert will into would. Whether I would come. Tomorrow is a point word. It will be converted into the next day, the following day, the day after. So the answer will be she asked whether I would come the next day. Can you drive a car? He said. He asked whether I could. Can will be converted into could because we are converting direct into indirect speech. Whether I could drive a car. Do you smoke? I said. I asked whether he. Now here we have to change. Normally, the rule says that we have to convert do does into did. But here it is verbal question. So instead of changing do does into did, we are going to change V1 into V2. Smoke is present tense. It will go into past tense. So the answer will be I asked whether he smoked. Now here you is a listener, but we can't take me as a listener. Why? Because I is a speaker, so I can't be a listener. So here we have taken he. Have you found my dog anywhere? She inquired. She inquired whether I had found her dog anywhere. My is the possessive case of I, and I is a subjective case. So I is a speaker. Who is speaker? She. What is the possessive case of she? Her. So the answer will be she inquired whether I had found her dog anywhere. Did you go to the cinema last night? He said. He asked whether I had. Why had? Did. It is the past tense of do does. And said. It is the past tense of say. So the rule says V2 plus V2 had plus V3. So the answer will be he asked whether I had gone. Past participle of V1. Go, present tense, went, past tense, past participle, gone. Whether I had gone the same cinema last night, the night before. Now we are going to discuss about, up till now we have discussed about the verbal questions. Now we are going to discuss about WH question. Reporting verb will remain same. We have to change it into ask because the type of the sentence is interrogative. Now we are talking about WH question. So in order to remove inverted commas, we are not supposed to bring any word or conjunction. Instead, we have to use the same WH word which is given in the question. After that, we have to change the structure. In verbal question, we have interchanged the position of number 1 and number 2. Here, we have to interchange the position of number 2 and number 3. In short, we can say that here we have to change helping verb and subject. They are going to be interchanged. And after that, in place of question mark, we have to put a sign of full stop. Now see, example. He said, what are you doing? He asked, what? We have to interchange the positions of number 2 and number 3. It means helping verb and subject. Subject is going to be brought after the WH word. What I was doing. He asked what I was doing. When is the next train, John? She said. She asked John when the next train was. When do you usually get home? He asked. He asked when I usually got home. Again, we have to remember that we are not supposed to convert do does into did. Instead, we are going to change V1 into V2. He asked when I usually got home. Which train did you take? She said. She asked which train I had. Why had? Did is the past tense of do does and said is the past tense of say. So the rule says V2 plus V2 had plus V3. She asked which train I had taken. She said, what do you want? She asked what I wanted. Instead of changing do does into did, in interrogative sentence, we are going to convert V1 into V2. So the answer will be she asked what I wanted. When did you see him last? I asked when I had seen him last. How do you feel? Said the nurse. The nurse asked how I felt. Now the assignment has been given to you, and in this assignment I have taken verbal as well as WH questions, and you have to apply all the rules which right now we have discussed. And still, if you face any kind of problem, so you can write to me on my email, on my email, or you can visit to my blog. Thank you.